Meet the Igigi, the ancient astronauts who rebelled against the Anunnaki. The ancient Anunnaki are said to have created the human race by genetically modifying early humans in order to use them as a labor force according to mythology in Sumeria. But before humans were created, the Igigi were used by the ancient Anunnaki as their main labor force. It's said that the Igigi, they who return and see, were the ancient astronaut gods of the younger generation, the servants of the mighty Anunnaki who came to Earth to mine gold. The terminology used to describe the gods is extremely complicated and still needs much study. Researchers believe the term Igigi is of Semitic origin and indicates the group of gods in Mesopotamian pantheon. It's still unclear which ancient gods belong to the Igigi, but many scholars suggest Marduk, the patron god of the city of Babylon, was one of these Igigi. Mainstream scholars use the term Igigi to make reference to the Sumerian mythological deities, and according to mainstream scholars, mythologically speaking, the Igigi were the younger servants of the Anunnaki who initiated some kind of rebellion against their masters and dictatorship of Enlil. And eventually the Anunnaki replaced the Igigi with humans. That's what the legend says. In the myths of Atrahasis, the Babylonian story of the flood and a precursor to the flood story in the Gilgamesh epic, the Sumerian paradise is described as a garden where the lower gods, the Igigi, were put to work digging a watercourse by their masters, the Anunnaki. Quote, "When the gods like men bore the work and suffered the toil of the gods was great, the work was heavy, the distress was much. The 7 great Anunnaki were making the Igigi suffer the work, and when the gods, manlike, bore the labor, carried the load, the gods' load was great, the toil grievous, the trouble excessive, the great Anunnaki, the 7, were making the Igigi undertake the toil," end quote. Ancient astronaut hypothesis suggests that the Igigi were similar to the Anunnaki, remaining in constant orbit around our planet Earth. They were basically considered as intermediaries between our planet and Nibiru, which was the home of the Anunnaki. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. Many believe that the Igigi remained in constant orbit around our planet in giant platforms which processed ores which were delivered from Earth, and after processing these minerals, the material was transferred to other ships, eventually transported to the home planet of the Anunnaki. The Igigi were apparently ever encountered by mankind. It is said that several texts make reference to them saying the Igigi were, quote, too high up for mankind, consequently were not concerned with the people, end quote. After years of tenuous and hard work for the Anunnaki, the Igigi rebelled against their masters, and it's said that they set fire to their tools and surrounded Enlil's great house by night, forcing the ancient Anunnaki to fight for another source of labor. And this is why the ancient Anunnaki replaced the Igigi after genetically engineering ancient humans, creating a greater workforce, according to the legend. Many authors suggest that the human slave race was created after the ancient Anunnaki genetically modified their genes and that of early humans about 500,000 years ago. This is via Ancient Code on Bended Reality. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support.